So when it overtakes, what do? And then, by the time they are going in, you quickly go back in, isn't it? Now, that is how heart attack behaves. Heart attack hides behind high blood sugar. It hides behind high blood pressure. It hides behind all those things. So you can have a heart attack that's brewing and you don't know. But if you are checking those other things, then you will be able to curb it. Is somebody hearing me today? So, first of all, I said I was not self-regulating. I was not self-aware. Then, this is important, I was too insular. And this, I think, is the big one. I prided myself as being an introverted person. And those who know me closely, they know that. Let me tell you, yes, I come out in public, I do all the stuff I do in public, but you would notice many times I just take off. If I live where I stay in Kilifi is in the jungle. I don't like surprises. You know that one of somebody say, "Hey, I'm in your neighborhood. Are you at home?" I'm not. I don't like surprises like that. I like my own. Listen, I enjoy my own company because I'm writing, I'm doing stuff, I'm a creative. So I enjoy my company. After the heart attack, I learned a very serious lesson that we must remember what I said at the beginning. The things you like to do, you have to stop. The things you don't like, you have to start. I realized I was too insular. So what was happening, that I was not talking to people, things were eating me from within. You understand what I'm saying? So, and you see, a lot of people excuse their behavior to personality. And let me say something here. Personality is not a permission for poor behavior. It's not. What personality does is to explain tendencies, not to excuse mediocrity. I cannot hide behind a personality type and say, "Oh, it's because I am this, that's why I do this." No. Personality is a lens, it's not a cage. And all these personality tools are meant to reveal your preferences, not restrict your possibilities. All right? Because the truth is, you can be an introvert, like I am, and still communicate well. And you can be a type A extrovert and still be empathetic. You are not your profile, your personality profile. You are your choice. I think that's very important. The introverted Wale, he would rather just read and write. I used to tell my wife years before we got married, I said, my vision is to live in the countryside, far away from everybody, and just write. And, you know, she said, how are we going to eat? I think that was a valid question. But that's my preference. That's me. All right? But it is a proven scientific fact that behavior changes with context. All right? In fact, according to a lot of studies in psychology and behavioral science, that context can override personality. That's called the situational strength theory. Somebody who says, I'm very blunt, I just say it as it is. My friend, when you are in front of your boss, you will adjust. Am I telling the truth? Oh, I just say things the way they are. Continue. In front of leadership, you will see what happens to you. Is somebody hearing me? All right. So today, what have I done? I have to change. So I go out from time to time, enjoy good company. I realize that even though I enjoy my own company, there's a dimension of interconnectivity that I would never achieve on my own. And as a researcher, I went to look at this. I studied on this, that begin to create memories. You know, create memories, laugh, and travel light. Don't hold baggage. Listen to this study a Harvard study of adult development, 80-year-long study found that good relationships are the most significant predictor of long-term happiness and health. Did you hear that? Good relationships. The Longevity Project, another research by Howard Friedman and Leslie Martin, they said it's also based on 80 years of just following the lives of people and then seeing how they are 80 years later, those who are alive. This is shocking. They said they emphasize the role of social connections and emotional well-being, social connections and emotional well-being in longevity, surpassing exercise and diet in importance. That's why you find some people, all the things that you think they don't need to do, don't drink, don't smoke, don't eat ugali at 12 midnight, they do all that and they live to be 100. Then you see the other person who is not doing any of that, is going to the gym every day and he drops down dead at 40. Have you seen it before? And they said the greatest predictor is your social connections. So anybody that wants to take me out after this, I'm ready. Then I think second to the last point, I became more intentional. And I think that's important. I became more intentional. I used to procrastinate about a lot of things. How many people here procrastinate a bit? Or am I the only one? I should procrastinate that. You know what? One day, I will do this. One day, I will do this. Procrastination is a position held by people who are deceived to think they're in control of time. All right? So, listen, I was talking to somebody this morning. I said, since that heart attack, I have done more of all the things I had as dreams to do in my life than I did before the heart attack. Because I realized I saw things flipping away just like this. So, what did I do? Since then, I've written more books. This year alone, I've done 2 books, bringing the total number of books to 24 that I've written. And why do I keep writing? I write on leadership, I write on transformation, and so why do I keep writing? It's part of being intentional about legacy. Is somebody hearing me today? Then I started another company called African Legends, a publishing house, because I was tired, and I've been saying this for over 25 to 30 years. I was tired of every time we are, as a trainer, the case studies you are using, this case study of Elon Musk, a case study of Bill Gates, and I'm saying, but we have them here. Am I telling the truth? We have them here. How come we are not documenting them? So we started African Legends to begin to write books, particularly of business and success stories on the continent. And next month we're releasing about 5 new authors. You know? And I want to challenge you. Maybe some of you have procrastinated. One day I will write that book. That's why we set this up. Let me tell you, our authors are busy people. They're CEOs, they're chief officers like many of you. They don't have time. So what do? I have an editorial team that meets with them on Zoom. You know, somebody said civilization is making the best of all the resources available at any point in time. So my editorial team will meet with them, have conversations with them, about 4 conversations, record, transcribe, bounce it back and forth, arrange, and in 90 days you will hold your book. Like I'm holding this, you will hold your book. And I began to say, look, it is intellectual property. It is passive income. It is multiplying your knowledge and mentoring other people. It is securing your legacy. All right? So I became more intentional in doing all these things. I became more legacy minded, and I think that will influence a lot of the things we do. You know, I was fascinated by organizations that stood the test of time. And I kept asking myself, how do I retain relevance in the long term? Thank you. How do I retain relevance in the long term? I studied companies. You know, there's a company I looked at in Japan, Kongo Gumi, founded 578 AD, and they are still making money today. I said, how do we become like that? So we have to be generational thinkers. And that now led to, I think, the greatest thing ever. I developed a doctrine which I call the gap doctrine. And what is the gap doctrine? Whenever I see a gap, instead of complain and blame somebody else, ask 3 questions. What can I do? What do I know? Who do I know? Let me give you an example of this and I'll wrap up. Listen, I was with a governor in South Coast. The whole county was governor of Transoya. And when we were having a conversation, he said, we don't have a university in the whole county. Gap. Then I was with the speaker of the county assembly. He said, we don't have a university. So I took my phone and I texted somebody. I asked them, I said, what if we found somebody who has an already existing university somewhere? Can we approach them? They said, yes. I texted someone. I said, there's an opportunity. Can we do this? The person I texted called me immediately. It was former President Obasanjo, who has the best technical university in Nigeria. And he said, Wale, I like this idea. Let's do it. You bring them to Nigeria. If they like what we have, I will send a team and we can have a university in 1 year. So guess what I did? I took the team from here, led by the Speaker of the County Assembly. I took a delegation, went to meet President Obasanjo. They saw what they saw it, they loved it. President Obasanjo sent his team, and 2 weeks ago, they were in Kitale, and it's a total, purely private investment. And we've signed the MOU. So right now, we're looking for land, and we're tidying up things with the Commission on University Education. If any of you can help us with that, the president will be very grateful to you. Are you hearing me what I'm saying? I didn't have the money. There's a gap. What can I do? And these are the things that I have found out when it comes to my self-management. All the things I was procrastinating about, now I'm able to do. I looked another gap in the Kenya prisons. There was a gap. Prisons have become places of punishment, not places of rehabilitation. So people get radicalized. So what did we do? We are moving in with a whole team to bring training and non-training interventions, and guess what? We are not asking them for a dime. We are funding it ourselves to transform and rehabilitate the prisons of Kenya. We saw a gap. I can go on with so many initiatives we're embarking on like that. So, to learn more, I've got to close now. To learn more, if you are not following Wale Akiemi on LinkedIn, that is a sin. You need to ask God to forgive you. So follow Wale Akiemi on LinkedIn, and you can see some of this we're doing. We're already planning on something with immigration, because the first contact a foreigner has in Kenya is with an immigration officer, isn't it? That can define the experience and their image of Kenya. So we approach the immigration. The Director General has been phenomenal, and we're going to do that. There are gaps everywhere. Instead of complaining, let's get involved. This is part of how we are managing self. All right? So, I've got to go. But before I go, you know I'm a writer. And I remember last time I was here, I did something for all of you, which I'm going to do again. Are you ready? When I talked about relevance, it came from Beyond Intelligence. Okay? It's a story of how to stay relevant. Brand control is what I talked about. And then the experience from customer to ambassador. How many of you would like a copy of the experience? How many of you? All right. Oh, not everybody wants. Okay, let's try this again. From all over, how many of you want a copy of the experience? Lift up your hand. Okay. Pride in one. Where is that? I see people who want. Okay, I'm going to give everybody a free copy. Who lifted up their hands? Now look at you Africans. Yeah. Look at my Africans. I want to give everybody a free copy. Who wants? No. Wait. So when you want, you go for it. Mama mia. Are you hearing? He was the only one listening to my class. That opportunities are grabbed. But that said, I want to give everybody a copy of the experience, or if you want a copy of brand control, how to shape your brand, I want to give you a copy. Now, can I end by doing what all of you normally do to us? Are you ready? So you all want free copies? All those who want free copies say aye. Now, what do you people do to us? Terms and conditions apply. Terms and conditions apply. Isn't that I learned from you? You see, so I'm learning. So what you do, we are outside here. We are outside at Sarova. Just get any 2 books and they will give you one for free. How cool is that? I even went further to explain, to do the calculation, because I know what you are always thinking figures. Each book online is 1,300. Here, it is 1,000. Now, when you get 3, that means you are getting each book at 666.66 shillings. I learned that from you. I'm a good student. All right? So, thank you so much for having me. Don't procrastinate. If you want to write a book, reach out. I'm there to help you, and let's fill the gap. Let's be nation builders and take this continent where it ought to be. God bless you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wale. Thank you for that inspiring talk. Could you just turn to your neighbor and remind them to work on their inner infrastructure for greatness? Give a high five to your neighbor and tell them work on your inner infrastructure for greatness. Awesome. So could we just give Dr. Wale a big round of applause? Thank you. Let's minimize the music, please. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Wale. Allow me to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of our former Vice President. He is in Sarova, White Sands, and will be speaking to us in a short while. His Excellency, Dr. Stephen Musyoka. He's in White Sands and will be speaking to us in a short while. So let's acknowledge him. We could give him another round, give him a round of applause. Delegates, I'd like us to take a few questions. We will get one question from each side. Unfortunately, because of time constraint, we started late. And like I have mentioned, we have our former Vice President who will be speaking to us shortly. So we will have one question from White Sands, another question from Pride in one question from our online delegates, and finally one question from Pride in 2. So, Sarova, White Sands, if we could get somebody coordinate for us to get the question. Let us pick a question from White Sands.
Right, Sarova.
Just one question, kindly.
One question, please. Go ahead.
My name is CPA Dr. Stephen Kimwele. It's always exciting to see Dr. Wale present. My question to you, Dr. Wale, and this pertains to leaders and the people who have busy schedules. What is your take and advice when it comes to self-regulate, when somebody is holding these demanding schedules. And then probably could also try to answer, is there a correlation between the mental health and self-regulation? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarova. Pride in one, CPA Olive, help us get one question from there.
Yes, Pride in one question. Looks like Pride in One are very self-regulated. We have one question, please. Mike?
One question.
Oga? You said that the Stone Age did not end because the world ran out of stones. Isn't it? Or I didn't hear well. I really didn't understand that. Maybe that one, Oga, I beg you explain that. It's right.
Thank you. Rispa from
Sarova. Yes. I did not get the name of the person, but I hope since you're in Pride in One, you got his name and his question. It wasn't clear to the rest of us what he asked.
We got his question. I think Dr. Wale will respond. But the first question from Sarova, Dr. Wale didn't hear it well. Probably it can be asked again.
Thank you. I noted what Dr. Kimwele asked. If I got him right, he was asking if mental health and self-regulation are related. But if that's not right, probably Mwakazi could help us get the question one more time. There's a bit of sound problem. While we're at that, we could get a question from Pride in Two.
Okay.
We are ready, Sarova.
Okay, I may probably repeat my question. And Dr. Wale, you said out of 1 yes, you have around 10 no's. And then my question was, what is your take and advice to leaders and people holding demanding position when it comes to self-regulation? And in addition, probably you answer, is there any correlation between the mental health and self-regulation? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pride in Two, do we have a question? Pride in Two, any question? Okay, could we get a question from the online audience?
Right, we do have one question here. What is the place of God in the workplace? Is there a place for a miraculous world in the workplace? Because you talked about it. Over to you.
Okay, so thank you very much for those questions, and I would like to invite Dr. Wale to just respond in about 3 minutes. Over to you, Dr. Wale.
Thank you so much. I will start with the first question. Your advice to people in top demanding positions and all that. Look, it's very simple. Like I said, as a consultant working with the UN and a whole lot of organizations internationally, I was always on the move. But let me ask you, on the 11th of August, 2023, at 3 p.m., when I had that massive heart attack, if I had not recovered, would those institutions close down? They will go on. All right? So you need to know. You know, and part of self-regulation is when to, knowing when to say, you know what? Me time. I need to take some me time. No matter how busy you are. There is a reason why in the United States, they have Camp David as a presidential retreat. You know, there's a reason for that. So that now when you say mental health and self-regulation, if you do not practice self-regulation, you are exposed to mental health problems. You know, you will. And I went through that whole thing. Then the Stone Age did not end because the world ran out of stones. It's very simple. Do we still have stones today? Yes. But are we in the Stone Age? No. So there are still stones. What happened? Thinking. And I think this is a big question we need to ask leaders. What is the age of your ideas? You know, Henry Ford said, if he was going to ask his team, what to come up with. They would have said, nobody would have come up with, let's do cars, let's make cars. They would have said, let's make faster horses. And one of the challenges I see on the continent is a word that I think has been abused, is the word benchmark. We are benchmarking everything. We soon begin to benchmark stupidity and mediocrity. And the question I ask is, the pyramids in Egypt for 3,800 years were the tallest man-made structures on the planet.